Everybody is talking about the all-new Coleman 13T. And why? Because this is a 16-foot toy hauler that has a dry weight of only 3,000 pounds with a 5,000-pound GVWR, and it can sleep up to 4. Yeah, that's right. That means you can tow this toy hauler with some mid-size SUVs and still be able to sleep an entire family. That is pretty incredible. So let's get into it. Again, the all-new 13T by Coleman. We'll go inside right now. I'll talk a little bit about the outside in a second, but I just kind of want to show you the layout and essentially how they have done what they've done. So the first part of it is going to be exactly what you see right here, the fact that this is a hybrid. So you have this fold-out tent side right over here. Now the rest of this is going to be all open garage. You can see right there you have a Murphy bed that also doubles as a desk. Some additional storage space here. As I flip around, you're going to have a wet bath and then a kitchen all around the front. So let's actually kind of start off over on this side, because this is kind of, I don't know, one of the most interesting parts about it. So again, we just have some pretty basic storage here. It does have a direct vent furnace, so yes, you can use this in the fall. And like I said, this is kind of a double system. So as it's currently set up, you have a desk. Now you can drop this down. All you have to do is lift up and push this in and it'll fold down and lock in place. Both of these stools right here are foldable as well, so you can get all that out of the way. But again, you can also drop this Murphy bed down to be able to sleep 2 people. Now, they are going to make a change, I am told. I tried to do this a few times, and when I was talking to the reps, I said, hey, this is actually a little bit more difficult than I would hope, especially if it's just for one person. And they agreed. And here was the issue. And again, like I said, I'm told they're going to fix it, is that this pin right here that you have to pull, you just don't have much space to be able to pull that out. It's very difficult to drop that, so I'm told that that will change, and that will be a huge improvement for the ease of converting this from a bed into a desk or wall decoration, whatever you want to say it is. There is a window on the other side too, which is nice, so when you drop that down, you can get some cross ventilation. Now in the back, this, of course, is going to be your ramp here, your tailgate. This screen is completely removable. It's just magnetic. You can see it right up here. Well, maybe you can't. It's kind of getting blown out, but it's magnetic there, and then you have Velcro along the sides, so you can remove this whole thing. It is zippered in the center to make it nice and easy to get in and out as well. And then, as I mentioned, over here is going to be the hybrid. This is super simple and easy to operate if you've never seen one before. It literally just folds down, and it's held by these cables right here, and then you lock it in place with this bar up top. It just clips right there. I mean, you can legitimately set this bed up in 30 seconds. It's crazy, crazy easy. There is a surround that goes all the way around. You can see these buttons right here. I currently don't have it on, but that goes all the way around. So that way when it's folded up, you can zip it up and the mattress stays in place there. The only downside really to this toy hauler is going to be your width, simply because we have a wheel well right over here, and then we're going to have this. So, you know, it's not going to be able to fit anything super crazy wide in here, but you do still get 6 tie downs. It's going to be great for, you know, if you just want, if you're someone who just has like bicycles you want to bring or a motorcycle, this is going to be perfect for that scenario. Of course, we have electrical outlets, some USB ports here. Again, a window vent. There is a TV hookup right up top, so if you want TV in this coach, you can have that as well. Over to the side, we have some storage up above the kitchen, but I also want to show you this right here, the fact that this does have inverter prep as well as solar prep. So if you want solar, you can have roof-mounted solar installed, and the charge controller would go right there. We can see the fridge freezer right down underneath that. You know, it's nothing huge, but it does do the trick, right? You know, 4.3 cubic foot, 12 volt there. So you have some space for some cold storage space. Another electrical outlet over to the side. Again, that one is prepped for an inverter. 2-burner cooktop here, as well as your sink. And then when we drop down below, we have a little bit of additional storage space there, as well as the microwave. But this is also, it's going to be a convection microwave, and it does have the air fryer capability built in. Okay, let's talk about the wet bath. This is probably the most, I don't know, I guess controversial part of the RV is this wet bath. And mainly because it's a wet bath in a travel trailer, which is just not a common thing. right? Wet baths are super common in truck campers and Class Bs, not very common in travel trailers. So as far as size, if I stand in here, believe it or not, I can fully stand up at 6 foot, which is pretty impressive. That being said, I can't move a whole lot. Like it is pretty tight. You can get in here with me. I'll sit down on the toilet just to kind of show you here. So my shoulders are touching on both sides, right? I'm 6 foot, about 215. And again, this is a pretty tight space, but it's manageable, right? Like for all the other benefits you get, I can still make this work. And you know, while I'm sitting here, you can see I do have great legroom. Like that's not an issue at all. You know, this is honestly probably how I would take a shower, is I'd just sit down rather than stand up. I think in this situation, it's just going to be easier. But all in all, you know, while yes, it is a wet bath, the fact that you can sleep 4 in here, still be able to haul toys, you get a full kitchen, and you can tow this with some mid-size SUVs, I think the bathroom sacrifice is definitely worth it. I mean, the fact they have a bathroom at all is pretty great in this layout. You also see that it has a roof mount air conditioner rather than a side mount. Big fan of that. It's going to be direct vent, but it does a really good job of cooling everything off. You also see there's plenty of LED lights, making everything in here nice and bright. Now, as I step out, I'll hit a few things on the outside here. Not a ton to talk about, right? I mean, your Coleman line, the base Coleman line is pretty basic, but there are going to be a few things. You have a power awning up top there. You have the composite steps. These are the newest steps to the industry, the Suburban. So it's composite, so treads aren't going to rust. And the legs are probably the easiest to adjust out of any of them in the industry, at least in my opinion. It almost uses like a ratchet system. You can see your propane tank is going to be mounted right up front there. And as I talked about earlier, this one does have the prep for roof-mounted solar if that is something you are interested in. And then dropping down, you actually have 4 stabilizer jacks on this one. You have 2 in the back. You also have 2 up front. But I wanted to point out the fact that you do get a propane quick connect, so that if you want to hook up a Blackstone or Coleman grill, it is super easy to do so. And again, as I mentioned, that screen is going to be removable. And then of course we have our ramp right here. The ramp is pretty light. I mean, just to kind of give you an idea, right? Like I can lift it with my leg, put it up with one hand. Like it's not super heavy. I was pretty impressed. A lot of times when you get into like entry-level toy haulers, the springs don't do a whole lot, and so the ramp doors feel really heavy, and that's not the case here. I was actually really impressed. But let me know what you think, right? What do you think of the 13T? In my dream, right, I want to have a quick conversation. I think I would take the Murphy bed out. I would make this a bigger window, and then just have like a big bar top right there, right? Just a big old window stretching like all the way across here, bar top right there, have 2 chairs, be able to sleep 2 instead of 4. But then you also would be stuck using the tent portion as a bed. You wouldn't be able to have a bed just inside the 4 walls. So let me know your thoughts. Do you like it how it is? What would you change? This is still a first model, so there is still time to change this thing. So if you are like Ian, I think this would be a great change. Let's talk about it. I can pitch it to the manufacturer, see if we can't get this thing perfect, because this is probably one of the coolest concepts I've seen in 2026. And if you're wondering how much it is and where you can find one, well, there will be a link in the description with price and availability. Again, because this is brand new, it may take a bit to get some availability through the country, but that information will be there. Till next time, thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and we'll see ya.